I thought I was a good drifter, and I thought my tandems were dialed. Then I joined this online drift server and got absolutely humbled. This guy was a ghost. Every time I thought I had him, he was gone. I was either overdriving or way too slow, and honestly, I was getting cooked. It's one thing to drift by yourself, but it's another thing to chase a random driver who's going full send. This was a huge learning experience, but I was not leaving until I figured it out. Today I'm breaking down the technical shift I made to become a better tandem drifter. If you're struggling to tandem with others, this is for you. Okay, so if you've watched my recent videos, you know my new goal is to become a pro sim drifter and compete in the Virtual Drift Championship. And a few weeks ago, I competed in my first drift competition, hosted by the ESDA. And long story short, it did not end well. Go watch that video if you haven't already. It's a great video. But after I competed in that competition, I realized I have a lot of work to do. I can't keep practicing by myself. I have to go outside my comfort zone, because outside your comfort zone is where growth happens. So I went online and browsed through the drift servers, and I found this, the ACS X Sim HQ Mayhan X N-Style server. And it had a good amount of people in it, so I joined it, and I chose this N-Style S13. First few laps out were not the best. It was my first time driving the car, so I was still filling it out. I was having a little trouble with the entry because the front end felt like it had no grip. Eventually, I found that if I commit on the flick and stay smooth on the throttle while gradually adding angle, I can make the turn. And this made me feel a lot more comfortable in the car. Here's a really good lead I put down. Then I ran into this purple S13 and I could not keep up. Coming around the corner into the straight, he would absolutely roll me, causing me to play catch up for the rest of the lap. Next lap around, I tried to stay a lot closer coming into the straight, but coming around this corner, the car understeered, causing me to once again fall behind. So I stopped chasing them and tried to change my approach into the straight by shifting up to third before the transition so I could have more speed around the corner coming into the straight. This simultaneously eliminated the understeer and gave me more speed coming into the entry. And by the way, the entry is the most important part of your lap. And this is because it sets you up for everything else. If your entry is terrible, the line into the corner is going to be terrible. Then that corner makes the next corner terrible. And it's a huge butterfly effect, which is why I want to get this entry perfectly. Eventually, I ran into him again, but my run-up was terrible, leading me to get rolled once again. Next lap around, I was a lot closer on the run-up, but coming into the straight, I was way too slow again. After that, I came to the conclusion that it might be the setup. So I went back to the pits and decided to put as much grip as I can in the car. I lowered both roll bars, added toe in, and turned down the rear tire pressure. Then headed back out for another lap. And first lap out, the car felt so much better. I was able to flick it a lot harder while carrying a lot more momentum. Now it was time to really test it. I got right up on this purple S13 during the run up. And coming into the transition, I hesitated, causing me to straighten. But I was still a lot closer on the straight than I was before. On the next lap, I was on his door during the run-up. Got the transition perfectly, but was in second for a little too long, causing me to fall behind again. A few laps later, I was getting used to his driving style. I got up on his door during the run-up, transitioned perfectly, shifted up to third, and was right on his bumper. But he still kind of got away from it here. Overall, this is my best run yet. I had had to be honest with myself. This guy was just better than me. And I realized I had to change the way I was driving to be able to keep up. And the one thing I had to change was the setup. The setup before the lap even starts is probably the most important part here. Like right here, I'm so far behind that you may as well throw this lap in the trash. Because in a competition scenario, I've already lost. As you can see, I'm having to sacrifice my line to be able to keep up. And this will not fly in competition. So I continued to get on this door during the run-up and stay more track right to get the correct line coming into the straight, while also anticipating and trusting that he will get on power here. Because distrust leads to hesitation, and hesitation leads to you losing a battle. Then I pushed it way too hard and hit the wall. A few laps later, I was on this door during the run-up, fell back a bit for the transition, and got on power at the perfect time coming into the straight, leading to me being red on his rear bumper with a perfect entry. And being smooth on the throttle with a little left foot brake, clutch kicking the transition and staying in the power band, and refraining from using the handbrake too much. This was by far my best chase run here. Lobbies like this are where you actually get better. I realized that you can't run away from challenges like this. It's the only way to find your weak spots. We're getting a lot better, and my confidence is definitely improving, but we're still pretty far from being a pro. But we're not giving up. We're continuing this grind. So like and subscribe, and come back, because I'm posting all of my progress, and I want you to come along for the journey.